It looks like Fox's Gambit movie may finally have found a new director after Rupert Wyatt left the project a couple months ago. The Hollywood Reporter is claiming that Edge of Tomorrow director Doug Liman is very close to inking a deal to helm the Channing Tatum-led X-Men spin-off film. Other directors that were in consideration were Joe Cornish, Shane Black, and before signing on the Fast and Furious franchise, F. Gary Gray. Gambit is set for a October 7th, 2016 release. Dennis, what do you think of Doug Liman most likely directing the Gambit movie?
We talked about this a few weeks ago when these other names kind of popped in there with Joe Cornish and Shane Black. And even then, I was like, yeah, those names are fine, but I really would like Doug Liman to do it. And so it looks like he's going to, and I think that's a great fit. I mean, he's a really good director. I mean, he started off doing, people don't remember, Swingers. With Jon Favreau. Jon Favreau, I mean, everyone associates Jon Favreau with Swingers, him and Vince Vaughn. Jon Favreau wrote that, but Doug Liman actually directed it. And then he went on to do some movies that I enjoyed, like Bourne Identity, the first one, Mr. and Mrs. Smith, and obviously Edge of Tomorrow now. And so I think this one is a good fit. What do you think, Christian?
I think so too. And you bring up Mr. and Mrs. Smith. Well, guess who you worked with over there too? Simon Kinberg. You know, be working with Simon Kinberg, I assume, again, even in a consulting type of role, because it is an X-Men story as well too. I think Liman is perfect for this movie. What I'm worried about again is Fox. Because we've heard, but there's been a little bit of a push from Fox on certain directors. It seems like it happened with Rupert. It seems like it happened with Josh Trank. But then again, you can say, well, it happened with Rupert before. This happened twice now with him at Fox because he had Apes the first time, and then whether or not you say left for The Gambler or whatever it was, he left, and then Matt Reeves came in. And I was upset when the news originally happened. I was like, "No, come on! Matt Reeves is fine, but Matt Reeves made a better movie than Rupert Wyatt did." So this is kind of the same way that I hope is going to happen. I love Doug Liman. I love what he did with Edge of Tomorrow. Great movie, great film, and I think he can add something special to it. It's the script, though. What's that script look like,
Josh?
I think Edge of Tomorrow was the best non-franchise kind of action movie of that genre that we've seen in a little while, and you could have really gone in a weird direction with that movie. He could have taken it in a really campy way, and made it, like everybody when he was coming out was like, oh, it's gonna be like Groundhog Day kind of a thing. Even though Groundhog Day is an amazing movie, you could have done something really bad with that, especially with Tom Cruise and what he can do sometimes. I thought Doug Liman brought that movie to the forefront, and it was fantastic. The Fox thing that you said makes a lot of sense because in a movie like Gambit, which is one of those X-Men that everybody loves, he's always been rumored they want to have him as standalone, and Channing Tatum, who again everybody loves, it's amazing to me that they haven't settled on a director or that people keep bowing out and stuff like that. That's always a sign that the studio's got too much.
I think it's that and script for sure. Yeah.
I'm wondering. Okay, so Edge of Tomorrow, I think eventually after international numbers either broke even or made even a little bit of money. I know domestically didn't do so well.
Right.
If it had been a much bigger hit, then you would have seen like, okay, well, I would be more confident that with Doug Liman and Fox, you'd be like, no, I just made a ton of money.
I got this.
Yeah, exactly. But now because it was so kind of...
Well, yes and no, because the other thing with that movie is critically it was a hit as well too, and the respect that it's had around the industry in general has been like that carries a lot of weight. It carries a lot of weight. So if he can walk in and be like, "This, look, I just worked with Tom Cruise and we made a movie that everyone loved. It really, it wasn't a matter of people seeing that movie and going, nah. It was a matter of like, I don't want to see Oblivion 2. And then once they saw it, everyone's raving about it, and it's absolutely Doug Liman that was responsible for that. And so I think that Fox could back off a little bit. We'll see.
It is really hard to make a movie that is basically the same thing a bunch of times, and like keep building on that thing. I mean, that was really, really good storytelling from a director.
Yeah, and the name didn't help either.
No.
Edge of Tomorrow. I think he can bring it. Like I watched some of the behind the scenes for Edge of Tomorrow, and they showed like, I guess Tom Cruise is known as like, he just works all the time. So like Doug Liman in preparation, he like started working out, like physically working out, and he was playing like tennis to get ready so he could actually go on set and match Tom Cruise's intensity.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Hey guys, if you like this clip, click here to watch the entire episode. Also, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel because it'll help you stay up to date with all the stuff we've got going on here at Collider.